My name is Rhian Phillips and my role with Sova on the Moving Forward project is a volunteer coordinator in South East Wales. The Moving Forward project has been set up to target 16 to 18-year-old young people who are either in the process of leaving care or they have had dealings with the youth offending service. They may have been in prison, they may have been excluded from school, etc. Obviously, these young people have got massive boundaries into gaining employment. The employment market is so competitive anyway that these young people, the barriers there are massive. So the Moving Forward project is aiming to give these 16 to 18-year-olds pre-work support and then put them on a 6-month placement, which is paid minimum wage. So if they're not having benefits, etc., it works out £100 a week, which is a lot of money for someone that age, because obviously the benefits don't start until the age of 18. So what we'll do then is, when the young person's on a project, Sova as a charity will provide mentoring support from their volunteers to help the young person through that opportunity. Obviously, like I said, a lot of these young people wouldn't have been in school, so the jump into the world of work can be a massive one and quite a daunting one, as it is for most people anyway.
It's bad enough, isn't it?
Yeah. So that mentor's there to kind of provide a bit of support for the young person, even if it's something as simple as getting them up in the morning, and taking them to work for the first week while they're getting into the swing of things. Or perhaps if there's a problem with somebody in work, then the mentor's there to provide that bridge of support between the employer and the young person. And of course, we support our volunteer mentors through the project. Obviously, we've all seen in the news recently that young people are struggling to get on the works market, and these are young people that are leaving university with degrees that are very qualified. So, there's obviously then that gap of the young offenders and those leaving care who perhaps haven't got the social skills, maybe haven't got the literacy and numeracy ability, and just the general education that others may have who are leaving university. So there are no doors opening to these young people at all. So you've got this gap between leaving school age and benefit age, where these young people are just sat. And research found that if they were engaged in a project such as doing employment, they were less likely to reoffend. So that was the idea behind the project. A lot of families are dysfunctional these days. A lot of young children are in care. A lot of families are struggling to support themselves. There's a massive amount of poverty in South Wales and all over the rest of Wales. So this project is kind of saying, we're here to help you in any way we can to get your foot on the ladder and get yourself into work. We've had a lot of interest. A lot of people watch the news, for example, and see all the things about youth unemployment. I think everybody thinks, I wish somebody'd do something. And I think a lot of people are seeing this project as their way to give something back and to help these young people, and also from the employer's point of view as well. That everybody wants something done, everybody wants it changed, but then nothing's going to change unless people give people a chance. So I think people want to support these young people. I think people look at them and they do feel sorry for them, because everybody knows, there's no factories, there's no manual skilled labour like there used to be years ago. And I think that our volunteers are desperate to kind of give their knowledge and experience to these young people and help them along their way. Obviously, if you were given a CV of someone who's just left university with first class honours, and you were given a CV of somebody who's just spent 3 years in young offenders unit, even if the young offenders unit young person was more capable of doing that kind of job, they wouldn't get a second look. And I think this is where the project is saying to the employers, give them a chance, we will support them alongside you. So we're not just saying, right, here's a young person who's going to be a bit difficult, deal with it. We say, give this person a chance. We're paying them, the project is paying the young person. All the employer has to do is provide support and also just give them the opportunity. Obviously we're hoping at the end of the 6 months the employer would be able to offer employment. Whether this happens or not, we're not just going to throw the young person out and say, oh, you know, there's your 6 months, ta-ra. I think a lot of time with the work schemes, I don't think the support for the young people was there. I think it was pretty much about throwing young people into work, and young people are not prepared, especially young people with complex needs such as those leaving care and those leaving youth offending institutions or have had dealings with the YOS. Alongside Sova, there's also Llamaya on board with us, CBSA, the Construction Youth Trust, GISDA. So say for example we get a young person who's left care who perhaps hasn't got the social skills that they'd need to go straight into work. Llamaya can provide that support. What we'll do is we won't just throw a young person into work because they need work. We'll give them the support before they go into work, while they're in work, and after they leave work as well. A lot of young people, they've got so much to offer, and you know, they can be great fun, they can have some fantastic ideas, stuff that perhaps somebody with an education wouldn't even think of, and I just think they can be genuinely interesting people to work with. I personally love working with young people, and I love working with this group of young people because they're not afraid to tell the truth. No 2 days are ever the same, but given the right support and the right knowledge of working with them, these young people are capable of anything. A lot of these young people, because they sign up to the project, you know, they get referred, then we go talk to them about the project, and it's up to them whether they come onto this project. So most of these young people are ready to engage. A lot of the young people I've already met have said, you know, we've done our bit, we smoked the weed with our friends, you know, we've been in trouble, we've done this, I want to grow up now. For example, I spoke to a young man several days ago who found out he was due to be a father early next year, and he decided that he wanted to become a positive role model for his son because he didn't want his son to be anything like he was. So he's decided that now's the time to change, and he's engaging on the project, whereas previously he wouldn't engage with anything. Now he's saying, right, I need to change, I need to be a positive role model. And I think these young people are at that time in their lives. But I mean, if someone is struggling to communicate, and you know they've got aggression problems, this is where the support comes in. This is where we don't put a young person into a placement until they're ready to work. I've been in my post a month now, and I've received 11 referrals of young people already in the South East Wales area. That's covering Monmouthshire, Torfaen, the Vale of Glamorgan, Cardiff and Newport. And we weren't actually expecting to get any referrals until January. But obviously this project is so in demand, and there are so many young people out there desperate to get into work, but their past experiences and their past life is holding them back. Volunteering can be so flexible. I mean, for example, on this project, we're asking volunteers to provide an hour a week. You know, there is training involved beforehand, but that's only is stuff that you need to know, you know. But as far as goes commitment, we're asking for 1 hour a week. And when you think that 1 hour a week could make such a difference to somebody's life, and like I said earlier on, you know, you see these kids on the news that are in prison age 15, and you know, they get so institutionalized, they don't ever really get out of the swing of things in that way. And this is people's chance to really give something back and do something worthwhile. I think as well, everybody can bring their own qualities and knowledge to volunteering. I think everybody's got something to offer. All we ask is that they're over 18, obviously because of the age of the young people. We ask that they're over 18, and other than that, we ask for people to be understanding and non-judgmental. I think this is where a lot of barriers come in for these young people that have been offenders and have come from care.